Hello everyone and welcome back. Today, let's take a really in-depth look at the Protection Warrior in the Battle for Azeroth beta. Now, a lot of the changes that are going to be happening to the Prot Warrior have been implemented. It is not a complete 100% done spec, but I want to take a look at it and offer my suggestions to the developers so that they can still change a few more things in the last 3 months of this beta. Now, one thing that does worry me is that there is a blue post where they did say that our mitigation is on par and fine so far. So let's just assume that the only thing that is missing is the one talent that we are missing in our talent tree currently, and look at the warrior as compared to the other tanks in the BfA beta. Now, the one thing we do have to look at first is all of the changes put together as nerfs and buffs that are going to be coming to the warrior in this change. Now, as far as nerfs go in comparison to live warriors, there are plenty of them. Shield Slam and Charge Rage Generation has been nerfed. Devastator Talent Rage has been nerfed. The shield block rage cost has been increased. Ignore Pain has been removed, which has been a very big source of controversy. And they did offer us a new active mitigation in the form of Bolster, but it is on the global cooldown. And also some other defensives are on the global cooldown like Demoralizing Shout, Last Stand. Arguably, Avatar can offer defensive capabilities with increased rage generation. Battle Cry was also removed entirely, and there's also a nerf to the shield block recharge time by making each charge take 5 more seconds to actually recharge. Now, as far as buffs go to the Prot Warriors, we have gotten Shockwave as baseline, Intimidating Shout as baseline, and Avatar as baseline, which now also provides 20 rage when used. So this is a really big list of nerfs and buffs. Let's go ahead and just trim this down into the most important ideas that we have on either side of this spectrum. For nerfs, we have Shield Slam and Charge Rage nerf, Devastator Talent Rage nerf, Shield Block Rage cost, the new active mitigation Bolster being on the global cooldown, Shield Block Recharge rate increased, and for buffs, we just have increased CC and stuns. Now, without beating around the bush, the new Prot Warrior feels bad. I don't like how it feels. I have taken a Prot Warrior from level 110 to 120, geared it up via World Quest, regular dungeons, heroics, and I'm even doing Mythic 5-mans right now. So I've gotten a pretty good grasp of what the content is gonna look gearing up for that first raid tier, and I've also done raid testing on this Prot Warrior. So let's go over why this feels bad, why it feels clunky, and also what can be done. So the first thing is, this feels really bad because in order to get our active mitigation up, we need to spend at least 3 global cooldowns doing so. That means that our normal charge into battle and shield slam only generates 30 rage. That leaves us 10 rage shy of being able to pop shield block. So not only do you charge into battle, shield slam, and then have to pop either Avatar or Booming Voice Demoralizing Shout because Thunderclap only offers 5 rage. After those 3 global cooldowns, you do manage to get shield block up, but none of your globals have actually picked up a significant amount of AoE aggro. So now at this point, your next global cooldown has to be spent on picking up that AoE threat and making sure that your DPS don't die. What it really boils down to is the fact that the choices that we have currently for Protection Warriors are not fun. We either have to choose to mitigate properly and to feel like an actual tanking class, or we have to choose to pick up AoE threat so that the DPS won't peel and won't die. Since I've been doing mythics as a tank and also as a DPS to take a step back and look at the meters, our damage taken and spike damage is very high in comparison to all of the other tanks, and our absorption or healing is also very low. What this does is it really puts us in a place where we're not really good at much. While in Legion, Ignore Pain spamming does not fit a tank fantasy, it at least helped us offset the poor damage mitigation that we did have. Now, one thing that is absolutely true in the beta, if we do look at the straight numbers, is if we have both of our mitigators up, that's shield block and bolster, we feel great and amazing. There's not much in terms of spike damage taken in or a lot of damage taken just because we have both of them up. But the thing is, since shield block is so slow to recharge due to the nerf, and bolstering is on the global cooldown, the times where both of these do have uptime is the exception and not the norm. So then the question becomes, will endgame gear fix this problem that Prot Warriors have? If I hit a certain haste cap, will I feel better? And the short answer to that is no. I am currently item level 320 equipped, which, just for comparison's sakes, when Blizzard puts us in raid testing, they scale us up to 330. So I'm just about geared in the beta to be doing raid level progression. I'm just a few item levels shy of that. And when I go out and I tank mythic dungeons, it is always an uphill battle. I don't feel like I'm actively tanking as much as I'm actively trying not to die and trying to not stress out the healer. Doing any kind of mythic dungeon feels like I'm doing a dungeon on necrotic, because more often than not on those bigger pack pulls, I have to stun, CC, and start kiting the pack in order to not die. Now, even when Blizzard puts us in raid testing gear and all I do is get haste heavy gear and I hit much higher haste caps, the spec does not feel streamlined at all, and it still feels very clunky in the state that it is. Now, those of you here who have been with me in this channel for a while know that I don't like being a doomsayer and just a negative person all around. So Blizzard has said that they do listen to feedback. We are currently in the beta, so let's provide options for Blizzard to help us prot warriors out, so we don't feel this clunky when BfA goes live. So in order to try to fix this, let's go back and look at all of the nerfs that are currently plaguing prot warriors. This is the Charge and Shield Slam Rage nerf, the Devastator Talent Rage nerf, the Shield Block Rage Cost increase, the new Active Mitigation Ignore Pain Replacement bolster being on the global cooldown, and the Shield Block recharge rate being increased by 5 seconds each charge. My feedback to Blizzard is to undo at least 2 of these changes to prot warriors, and then we'll feel more in line with everyone else. Some examples of this can be undoing the change to Charge and Shield Slam Rage, and undoing the nerf to Shield Block recharge rate. What this means is that we're going to generate more rage, we're going to have a better rage rotation with Shield Slam as the core of our fantasy, and the focus on us being a tank with a shield, being blocking and physical damage mitigation with mastery and just heavy plate armor is going to play well with the Shield Block recharge rate. A completely different scenario of undoing 2 of these changes can be undoing the nerf to the Devastator Talent Rage and taking our new Active Mitigation bolster off of the global cooldown. What this would do is help us generate better passive rage generation. Rage generation would be more steady and we would be able to gauge it more properly, and we would have more reliability on our crowd control and defensives while being able to keep bolster up, because it wouldn't be eating up those global cooldowns. We would actually be able to use the new talent points and avatar system a lot better if that bolster was off the global cooldown. Our Shield Slam procs would actually take priority, and overall the spec would just open up and feel like we're a lot less cluttered. Just undoing any of these 2 changes from this nerf category would go a very long way in both smoothing out prot warrior rage generation and consumption, and that is the point of this. Our rage generation and consumption in the current beta feels like it's all over the place, where all we have to do is prioritize staying alive and feeling tanky, as opposed to prioritizing our rage consumption and how we choose to be a tank. So I'm going to leave the rest of this up to you guys. What do you guys think about all of the prot warrior changes currently in live and what I'm proposing here? Are there any of you guys that are prot warrior mains out there that have any other suggestions besides any of these that I've offered here? And if you know any prot warriors, please share this with them, and I will be tweeting this to the Blizzard development team, so this will serve as my feedback and suggestion for Blizzard. Please take this into consideration when considering prot warriors and their current state in the beta. I encourage all of you out there to do the same and to reach out to Blizzard. There are still 3 months left in the beta. Prot warriors are still being looked at by Blizzard, since we do have the talent point option still available to us. So while they're still looking at us and changes are still being implemented, make sure you get your feedback and your suggestions out there in a constructive way, and try not to lash out at the developers too much. If you guys enjoy what I do and enjoy this type of content, and you would like to help support the channel, go ahead and visit my Patreon down below. I do also stream every Wednesday and Friday, so if you would like to see more Prot Warrior beta footage, subscribe to me here on YouTube or follow me over on Twitch. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, good luck tanking out there.